him, but I could do a Chris Rock and all that. But I knew don't do a Chris Rock impression if I'm opening up for Afion Crockett because that's just ridiculous.
If I was open for Afion, I would do no impressions.
Right. I didn't do any.
Yeah,
I didn't do any.
And then like I know a lot, like I host a lot at the Comedy Cellar. I care about the whole show. It probably put me in a little hosting hole because they love when I host because I care about the whole show. But if I open for Michael Che, he does a lot of crowd work, so I try to stay away from that. If I open for Dave Chappelle, he doesn't really do a lot of crowd work, so it's okay. It's like I know who I'm with, and I know how to I read the room. Same lessons I learned from DJing, I apply to comedy.
Hey, so when you was doing the weekend show, what do you feel like you was doing right to get them to let you start doing the morning show?
It was okay. There was a lot of New York DJs sounded the same at that time. Every New York DJ sounded like they were making a mixtape. Hey, yo, shout out my man, Harlem, 135th Street. So I was like, how do I sound different than them? So I just started adding, like I said before, just adding humor. And I would like call 2 Chinese restaurants and put them on conference call with each other or like stuff like that. Like, or I would tell a contest winner they won a contest, but then I would put them on I would act like I hung up the phone and they'd be like, oh, hello? Like this little jokey stuff.
Right.
And then I would talk about topics in another way. Whatever everyone's talking about, what's another angle? Just to be different. And they were like, oh, this kid really puts thought into what he talks about. And it's not just shout out hour.
Right. And so is that when Peter Rosenberg came into play or Angela Yee? That was another one I was confused. Did you work with Angela Yee first or Peter Rosenberg? Angela Yee.
I had a morning show on Shade 45, Eminem's channel on Sirius. And Angela Yee was my co-host there.
And how did y'all link up?
I knew her through the industry because she used to manage a couple rappers, but she got placed there by Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager or partner that also owned the station. So he gave me the show, and then I needed a co-host, and he said, can we try her? I was like, I never heard her personality. I know her, but I never heard her talk. So we tried it for a week, and amazing. Like,
she's
incredible. I always say I taught her how to do radio, but she had the personality. Like, she has a lot of swag. But like, I taught her like, literally like, this is how you turn the mic on. This is how, like, when the song is playing, bring it down a little bit, turn this up. You know what I mean?
That's incredible, man. Yeah, what I always tell people, what I love about her is like, she's very funny on the low. Like, she's a sniper, you know. She's
slick. Slick.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. And so then how did you and Peter Rosenberg come about?
Then here's why I was blessed, Just. I come from New York City. Getting on radio in New York City is the hardest thing, is what everybody wants to do. That's the pinnacle. Most people don't make it, obviously. There's only but so many slots. A lot of people, even if you're born in New York, you have to leave New York, get your chops up, and then try to come back. Go to Philly, go to North Carolina, go to Arkansas, wherever. And then when you have experience, you come back to New York and try to get a job. I was blessed that my experience gaining years was at satellite radio, which was in New York City.
Right.
So even though I was somewhere else getting my chops up, cutting my teeth, I was still able to do my weekend shows and fill-ins on Hot 97. So I'm telling you, I count my blessings for that situation. Otherwise, I would have had to move. So then, because of the morning show on Sirius, they were like, okay, this kid's been training. Let's work on the morning show. And then they was trying to get Peter Rosenberg in some way, and they put us together. And, oh, yo, Skinny Cipha. And
you're still skinny in my heart. Your voice sounds skinny.
I'm working on it back and forth, yo. So then they put me with Rosenberg, and then we just went from there.
What do you think about y'all chemistry work so well together?
So we had a lot of issues.
I'm about to say, you looking like I really don't like the motherfucker.
No, me and him had a lot of issues off the air. On the air, we had magic. The thing about him, he got a big mouth. Peter Rosenberg got a big mouth. I've gotten him out of getting his butt beat many times. But he loves hip hop, like to the core. And on that level, when us talking about 90s hip hop together, we talk about DJ Premier versus Dilla, like we could talk for hours and hours and hours. Now, managing him and trying to get him to show up to the morning show at 5:30 on time, you will pull your hair out. You know what I mean?
So the white man was late this time. Is that what you're saying?
No, not this time. Every time. This white man hated being on time. So as a manager, I hated him. But the chemistry we had, like, we liked.
Wait a minute, I didn't know this. So you actually managed him also?
No, I mean, like, I was the lead mic on the morning show.
Gotcha.
So, like, I had to manage. I was the quarterback.
Gotcha.
I always say this, like, yo, the dude Rosenberg is way more talented than me as far as like wanting to express his opinion on the radio. Mm-hmm. I was like a very private guy. I didn't want to express my opinion. I was great at, all right, we're about to talk about this topic. You go here. I'm gonna go to you. You bring this energy in. I'm gonna go to you. You crack the joke. I'm gonna crack a joke. Boom, boom, boom. That's a skill. That's a quarterback skill. He was just like off the top, be able to do these rants, which was amazing. And then we were like, we both loved, like, you know, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I love that show.
Yeah, we love like this, a lot of the same stuff. So we just hit it off with that. But then also he would teach me a lot of stuff. I would teach him a lot of stuff. Like, he didn't know any, like, you know what 5% culture is? Like 5%.
Man, I was gonna ask you about that. What exactly is 5%? I hear it, but I don't know exactly what it is. And I'm too lazy to get on Google and type it up. Clearly.
Okay. This very quick version. Okay, you know the Nation of Islam.
Right.
You know Malcolm X, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Nation of Islam is mostly like black Muslims from the 50s and 60s started this movement and created their version of civil rights in the 60s, blah, blah, blah. But they're Muslims. There's a guy who left that organization and started what they call the 5% Nation in the 70s. It's the teachings of the Nation of Islam without the religion.
Oh,
5%ers don't believe in, like, there's a mystery God in the sky. You ever hear, like, when in the 90s when people are like, yo, peace, God, what's up, God? Because black man is God, because we are the creators of the civilization. And, you know, the birthplace of humanity is Africa. So